well, but he's just not a teacher. Black people now want to be taught. They don't want to be just spoken to. They want to learn something now. They want to clear the smoke.
So what is his purpose?
You have to ask him that. You can't ask me what his limit is a Farrakhan service. You have to go to him and ask him that.
Peace and love, peace and light. What's going on, people? It is your boy, Mr. Information, and I'm excited about today's episode. Put my specs on. Today's episode is going to be amazing. We got a good brother, man, who I not only had the opportunity to bear witness to the amazing abilities of this brother, but I'm learning. Y'all know here on the network, I'm a master student. So I'm excited to learn more about this situation today, dealing with numbers. I'm trying to say it without giving it away. I don't want him to do it justice. But if you've ever heard of the gematria or abjad or any of the ancient ciphers, I say that because they're literally ciphers. But dealing with someone such as the high priest himself, who has, at least in my opinion, he's mastered the art, or he's mastering the art of numerology. He's mastering the arts of understanding this sacred science, which is why today I'm pretty much interviewing him. We do have two brothers who actually reached out and will be joining us a little bit later in the show, because I wanted him to exercise this ability for you guys, and you guys are able to book your own session with the brother. Today is just samples. You know how you go through the mall and the little Chinese restaurants have little samples with toothpicks. It's just a toothpick sample today, okay? But I want you guys to see it for yourself. So definitely over in the comments, feel free to ask questions and throw questions at the brother. And I'm pretty sure he'll do his best to facilitate the answers. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to the Mr. Information over on Crumb TV, been hosted. Today, we're dealing with the gematria, unlocking the gematria. If you've never heard of it, please get familiar with it. Hop on your Google right now and understand what this brother is about to bring to the forefront. I'm super excited personally because I had the opportunity to witness this stuff. I'm like, damn, it's a lot we don't know. What if we were all operating on these faculties, on all these principles, us as people? If we all operate in this capacity, it's amazing. So here's what I want to happen. I want you guys to do. I want you guys to send me an email at the MOI podcast at gmail.com. Send me an email and let me send you this link. And the link that I can email you back is how you directly get in contact with this brother I'm about to bring on the show right now. Now I'm giving you the opportunity now to send me an email, because once you get started, you're definitely going to want to reach out to the brother. Everybody, all faculties. So pay attention. I'm gonna let the email go down at the bottom while I do some housekeeping. Hop over to the chat real quick. Bruce Lee in the building. Bruce Lee been rocking, man. I like brothers like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee been rocking, bro. Peace and love, man. I know we went live a little bit earlier. It was a beautiful measure earlier where brother Kansu actually, it's like an alley hoop what he did today to this right here. This is like, if you thought the pass was dope, watch the dunk. This is gonna be the dunk right here. Who else in the building? We got baby girl. She's checking in the building. Peace and love, peace and light. Appreciate you for tapping back in too. My guy Solo 5000 always in the building. It's like top 5 people I can really just know who gonna tap in. Anytime notification go crazy, let you know we going live over on YouTube. It's a couple people that I can count on for sure that I know it's gonna tap in with us. Lyric, peace and love, peace and light. Empress Me, peace and love. We see you over there. Who else we got in the building? Musicland HQ, peace and light. Chronic, we see you. Who else we got in the chat over here? Ice Hawk, peace and light. Rising Phoenix, one of those ones always in the building as well. Pen and Paper Gang in the building. If you guys are not familiar with the Pen and Paper Gang, the pen and paper gang, that's what I call my people when it's time to take notes. I'm not here to convince or persuade anybody. This is just information. Take your own notes, and I call those people my pen and paper gang. Shouts out to everybody over on TikTok too that's tapping in. We're over on YouTube Live. The link in my bio. If you're on TikTok, just go to the link in my bio, and let's get it in. There we go. You already know, bro. Peace and light. Okay, everybody said, let's get it. Let's get it. I used to do my family and friends name on a geometric calculator 8 years ago. It's very accurate. Well, I think with the high priest, we pulled out the geometric calculator the other day. Well, I think both times we've gone through the history, and we, like over on TikTok, the post with Kamala Harris is going crazy. That's the geometric calculator. That's the geometric calculator. What this brother do is up here. Like, it's up here, what I seen the brother do. So I was waiting. Queen of Force just showed up. Now we can get started. I told myself I wasn't gonna get started until you checked in. That's what I said. So I'm not gonna start until Queen of Force check in. Now she's here. Now we can get started. Appreciate you. Without further ado, man, I want to bring up here on the platform the brother of the hour. Before I do that, I came across something earlier. If you're on Spotify, Apple Music, you can go over right now, the MOI show, MOI podcast, over on Spotify. Download it. Episodes from 2022 all the way back to 2021, June 2021 episode, MOI versus the Moors. That was the first one on here. So go back and check these joints out. Apple Music and Spotify. Download the joint. Rock with your guy. I appreciate you. If you could do that for me. Appreciate it. It's so crazy because I just came across this link. Like, damn, I'm still over there on Apple Music. I forgot about Apple Music. I'm coming to get my check, Apple Music. High Priest in the building. Peace and love, brother. Hold on. I think you're on mute, bro. Yeah. I'll mute the mic.
I was on mute.
There we go. There we go. We good now. Peace and love, brother. How you feeling?
Yo, everything is perfect, man. You know, we just want to go ahead and just make this a supreme day for those that need to get into this knowledge, man, because I had a client early today, and you know, it's just so many codes of just being cracked and helping people to identify what's actually going on with them personally. And it's just like, it's a game changer in so many different ways. So I just want y'all to, man, just do what y'all do best with the pen and pad. I'm going to try to look at the chat as much as possible, if I could. I mean, if y'all want to throw something in there.
I'm gonna help facilitate and watch the chat for you. So I'll keep look out for the chat as well for you. So before we dove in, oh, they like the chain. They like the goat.
Hey, I like the goat. Let me see.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, the goat go crazy. It's a custom made goat. Now, the story behind this goat is that my birthday, the year that I was born, was the year of the goat in Chinese astrology. So that's why I have it. So my wife got this for me. I can't take all the credit. Great birthday gift.
Look, he ain't saying anything about my goat
Wait, where you go? Oh,
right here.
yeah, you definitely you earned that. You definitely earned that one.
It's not a goat. I had to ride a goat to get it though.
You had to ride.
I had
So
to ride to get
hey,
this.
it take two goats to know another goat, right?
That's right. Listen, shouts out to Brother Kansu. Brother Kansu, listen, everything Brother Kansu was hitting on earlier. This, I promise you, bro. I said, Brother Kansu gave you an alley hoop. If you thought the pass was dope, watch the dunk he about to do. So shouts out to Brother Kansu. Check out his live earlier, man, dealing with the witchcraft in the Bible. Really. Oh, yeah. It was a nice measure. Like,
I missed that one. I had a client. I gotta hit the rewind on that. I'm getting that.
I was actually taking notes from Brother Kansu earlier, and I wrote down 1 Samuel 28. So go read 1 Samuel 28, and then it'll tell you what the whole live was about as well. So shout out to Brother Kansu. But he did a great job of giving you an alley hoop, what you about to get into. But before I let you go into it, I want to add some context real quick.
Yes.
So we can add some validity to what we're about to get into. What you about to get into anyway. I'm taking notes. Today I'm a master student today. And let's talk a little bit about numerology. And numerology is the practice that has been around for thousands of years with the root of many ancient cultures. I'm just going to read through numerology in geometrium. Then I'm going to let you give the real depth behind it. I just want to tell some people that have never heard of geometry. Like, what is that? Geometry? It is geometry, but it's a sacred way to deal with it. In Babylon, Egypt, Greece, Hebrew, the Hebrews created a system called geometrium, which assigns numerical values to words and names. Rome did it, China, and India. The term numerology was coined by Dr. Julian Stanton and brought to the forefront in the modern era. Numerology has evolved and adapted over time, blending with various cultures and religious practices. Today, people use numerology to explore mysteries of existence and gain a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them. I just want to talk about what numerology was real quick. I want to also show geometry. I'm down. Let the brother take the floor. A lot of us never heard. We might have heard of him, but we don't really have a basic understanding, which is going to infringe upon your overall understanding. At least that's my opinion. In numerology, geometrium, it gives various ways to say it. The pluralization of it, at its core, is a Hebrew word. It is the practice of assigning numeric value to a name, word, phrase by reading it as a number, or sometimes by using the alphabetical cipher. The letters in alphabets have standard numerical values, but a word can yield several values if the cipher is used. That's what geometrium is at its base. Brother, anything you need to add before you get going?
I think that was right and exact from the textbook. So let me give you my background to how I even came into contact with this type of knowledge. First of all, before knowing about numerology or gematria, I had no textbook information ever given to me prior to learning it. I didn't even know what it was or know anything about it. But the thing is that I was gifted the opportunity to train under a Dogon. And if anybody knows who the Dogons are, I'm pretty sure you can Google Dogons and their experience in connection to Star Series. So I was trained by a Dogon, and this Dogon had, or has, I should say, has the 92 degrees of the complete knowledge of the secret sacred sciences of the Dogon legacy. So I don't know what is in the books. All I know is what I was trained to know by this Dogon. And he has shared with me of how this information made it to planet Earth. So if you want to do your research, please do. And if you need to fact check me, but this usually in our tradition or in our culture, I should say, a lot of our information is passed down by word of mouth. A lot of this stuff is not written down for us. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But in this tradition, in the Dogon tradition, everything is by oral. So when they pass down information, it's passed down to the eldest son of the 9 families of the Dogon legacy. So that was always taught to me that these 9 families had access to this particular information that they received from the nomos. Now look that up. The nomos. So from what I was trained and made to understand was that the nomos came to planet Earth from Star Series and gave this knowledge to the Dogons. And the Dogons were the first to have ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. This is what I was trained to understand. So prior to that knowledge, I didn't know anything about how numbers and letters are connected through a spiritual wisdom, that every letter has a number tied to it. And in that number, there's a spirit. And so with that being said, my trainer, or the Dogon that trained me, may help me to understand that there's a way to break down everybody's name and how everybody's name is tied to this spiritual contract for the real reason why we came back to planet Earth in the first place. So when we don't acknowledge who we are, we deny our spiritual contract to actually be able to fulfill it. And what most people don't understand is that not acknowledging your spiritual contract through the context of your own name, you wind up repeating this cycle again because you don't know your own spiritual contract based off of your name. Now, we've been conditioned to believe that our names is our slave masters, or somebody gave us this or somebody gave us that. Oh, I don't like my name. The name has nothing to do with anything. It is the numbers in the name that tells a amazing story about who you are. Your name is so amazing that I can write a Library of Congress of how vast you are just based off of your name alone. Does that make sense so far? So think about that. You hold so much power, you don't even realize how powerful you really are once you start to dig in. So there was a thing, and I'm pretty sure, M.O., you can agree with me, but back in the days, they used to always be like, know thyself. Know thyself. Now, I never knew what that meant. I was like, know thyself. How am I supposed to study myself? How do I figure this out? How do I go in? How do I, tap into that? What does that actually mean? And once I discovered this information, then that's when I knew this is what they were always talking about. Know thyself. So, with that all being said, this is the context of it all. Your name is a navigation system of how you should be able to follow your GPS system to where you're supposed to go in this life. It tells you what type of karmic debts you're supposed to be solving based off of a past life experience that you had that you come back in this life to solve. It's also telling you how you're supposed to lead, how you're supposed to unite, how you're supposed to communicate, how you're supposed to put in the work, how you're supposed to create, what type of relationship and family you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to think consciously, how you deal with your finances and your wealth, and also how you're supposed to show up to serve humanity. All of that is all tied into your name. And if you never got that opportunity to experience or understand that, then it will make sense of why a lot of us are not on task to do all the things that we're supposed to do in this time, in this lifetime. So I'm here as the spiritual attorney to help you to read your spiritual contract that you agreed to before you came back to this plane of existence. So the argument is like, oh man, why did I choose this? Or why did I choose, or I didn't choose this, or I didn't ask to be here. You did ask to be here. And because of that, you are frustrated with something you have no control over because you just don't know that this type of information exists and how it's supposed to work for you. So the concept to it all is this. Your name is your responsibility. It's your agreement that you chose and you agreed to sign up to make sure that you do exactly what you asked for. So MOI, if you could pull up for me 2 Corinthians 3:6. I hope I'm saying it right. You're muted.
2 Corinthians 3:6. Hold on, my bad. 2 Corinthians 3:6.
Yeah.
Hold on, we gotta pull up the KJV. That's the only version I read on here. I don't read nobody else's version but King James.
Right.
I'm being funny. Let's see it right here. Let's see it right here. Yeah.
Read that for me, please.
He made us competent as ministers of a. I'm sorry. Start over. He made us competent as ministers of a new covenant, not of the letter, but of the spirit. For the letter kills, but the spirit gives life.
Perfect. So what this verse is actually saying, in order for you to be a qualified minister, you must understand that you can't go by the letters. You got to go by the spirit, because it's the spirit that gives it life. So it's saying that the letters in your name don't mean anything. It's the spirits that are tied to those letters, which are the numbers, and those numbers tell you exactly what type of spirit is in possession of those letters in your name, which tells me what type of characteristics you are dealing with in those different positions of letters in your name. Does this make sense? Let's make it make sense, because I got to make sure it makes sense. Because even if we go to the book of Numbers, right? I always like to go back to the Bible. The Bible is just so beautiful. My name adds up to a 60. Well, you know what that means? That means that you have the energy of Venus. You love beautiful things. You love to. The music turns you into, puts you in the zone where you could just lose it and just go into a place of bliss. You're definitely a woman that loves to keep the home beautified and things of that nature. But it also says too, it's hard to get you mad, but you know if you get mad enough, you got a side of you that will just explode, and it's almost like a volcano erupt. Now, if
Wow.
that sounds like you always want to be careful with that type of energy, because harmony is, you don't want it to ever be disturbed.
Wow.
So,
Because at first, listen. At first, you made it sound like she was what's her name? Aphrodite for a second. Like, oh.
oh yeah, oh well, you know, it's definitely possible because this young lady, baby girl, she definitely has the healer's ability to heal things. You know, she's a nurturer. You know, coming to her is like coming to Mother Teresa. She'll just take care of you and heal you up.
Wow.
You just got that whole motherly energy going on.
Wow.
But that's just a fraction.
Well, baby girl, listen. You heard what you heard. If he was on point, let the brother know who's on point. I don't even know who you are, but it sounds like it just by looking at the picture, he pretty much summed you up, in my opinion.
Yeah, she knows the art of seduction.
That's why I said Aphrodite.
Mm-hmm.
I said Aphrodite. Yeah.
So
okay.
Going back to the Bible verse, that 2 Corinthians 3:6, this is telling you that the Bible is written in a code. So accurate. Thank you for the mini reading that made my whole day. Absolutely. So too accurate. Don't give me your full name because I'm gonna turn up.
Hey, listen.
Don't give me the full name because I'm gonna turn up.
Give me your full name right quick. Just do a
Don't give me the full name because I ain't got no problem turning up.
Listen, baby girl, give him your full name in the chat and watch what happens. He's not gonna pull no geometric calculator. He is the calculator. He's gonna do the calculations.
That thing gonna
right, like the Matrix. That's about read like letter for letter, and it truly speaks to what you're showing right here, bro. In 2 Corinthians 3:6, it says, "He made us competent as ministers of the new covenant, of the letter." I'm sorry, not of the letter, but of the spirit. For the letter kills, but the spirit gives. So you're saying that the spirit or the breath behind the letters,
yeah, because that's why they call them spelling words, because they can kill you. It can put a spell on you.
And that's why
you bound by these words. That's why I'd be like, I don't like my name, or man, why did he say that? That's why people get like, you ever somebody say something to somebody and it just causes them to, it triggers them.
Listen,
well,
go ahead.
The letter killeth. Go ahead.
Wow. What I was gonna say was that's true, because oh man, when they begin to reduce the so-called Negroes of America, they did it by the letter. They did it by applying documents. They bound it by the letter and then condemn you to continue to call yourself that name. It's almost like a chant. Black, Negro, colored. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm like, it was a whole chant behind the word, and you identified with that energy, with that spirit of what that word was.
Boom.
And you carried it.
Boom. Wow. Boom. You see? So now we can start to really analyze our culture, what has been done to us just by this alone. This alone tells us what we're bound to, what we're triggered into, what we tricked into, what we've been accepting as an identity. They put words on us and it kills us. as a
That's why
culture.
when you go to court, you receive a life sentence. You receive a sentence.
Man, they just know. They know. They know. They use this information and they know. This is why it's so important for us to learn this knowledge, because then we can crack the code. We can eliminate the spell and move on. Just like changing the name Nagas to Kings and to niggas. Yep, same thing.
Hold on. But damn sure. So listen, we got a name in the chat. Where does sister go?
Tell her don't ask. What's her name? Hester Maria Perryman L? Was that your name at birth? Please tell me that shit, because it's got to be your name at birth. If it ain't your name at birth, you know, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that it is.
Well, the term El and Bay are added when you get your new holy name, when you proclaim your nationality. So I would assume at the time of birth, she probably didn't have the term El given. But of course, you know, El and Bay kind of, but she said not El. Yeah. So Hester Maria Perryman. Am I saying that right?
Perryman. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what she don't got. Forget about what she do got. I'm gonna tell you what she don't got.
Here we go.
So this is one of the main challenges that you probably been dealing with, and it deals with relationships, right? And by the looks of it, it tells me that you either been in controlling relationships or you've been doing the controlling. And this is why in your relationship lifestyle, it's been kind of difficult to maintain or manage or bring it in, because you're missing the relationship number in your name that will determine how you should be in a relationship in this particular lifetime. So it also goes deal with family, friends, just being able to maintain relationships with a significant other, or so on and so forth. But you know, people with your energy don't ever have a problem getting money, because you know you the boss, and telling you what to do is a gross waste of time. Because you know, when you step into the room, you make everybody feel uncomfortable anyway.
Wow.
I ain't gonna go too far, because I'm gonna go crazy.
Wow. Listen. Okay, but baby girl Ken, she said, I wouldn't give you my name right now because I'm so serious, but I know I know you all haven't met anyone else with this name, so for privacy reasons, I'd rather tell you my offline name. Okay, well listen.
Yeah, hit the link.
I tell you what, baby girl, shoot me an email. I'm gonna send you the link to book him directly, offline, private session, whatever the case is, virtual, whatever the case is. Shoot me an email right now. We definitely respect the rights of privacy when it comes to that. But shoot me an email, and I'll send you that link to get with him privately, because I'll be interested to hear what it is too. Not that I would know, but you know, from you, I would like to bring you back on the show, and have you divulge the information if you want to. But Sister Girl said, truly, oh, for sure, truly. Okay, so listen, we got our first guest up here. He just tapped in. This brother reached out via email, and I got back with him to email him, and I wanted to bring him in on this situation so you could demonstrate the possibilities of man. On
Can
him.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good, brother. Peace and love. How you feeling, man?
Love Islam. My name is Lenerson Piwis, or Lenerson Piwis. I'm Haitian. I was born in Haiti, and I came here as an immigrant under some extenuating circumstances. You know how the situation is going on similar to right now. It happened back in the 90s as well. So now I just wanted to, tap in with you guys, especially on the gematria side, and, see if you guys could get something out of my very French name.
Hey, listen, well, peace and love, man. Islam, thanks for joining us on the show. Shouts out to Haiti Empire.
Shout out, ça passe.
Boulay, there you know.
Right? Y'all in the building. I see you fezzed up, bro. So I know you got some light. You got some light. So, High Priest, I'm gonna let you take it over and do your thing with the brother real quick.
So this is the name at birth, correct?
Yeah, this is what my mama named me.
You got a middle name too?
I don't have a middle name. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I only have just a L at the end of my new name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just analyze what's going on as far as making the connection in life, right? It's really your connection lifestyle as far as you being able to really tap in. Some people might say, hey, you're not I'm gonna say you're not in tune with your emotions, right? They're like you too robotic with it. Like, just we need you to get more in tune with your emotional side, so it might affect how you feel in your heart about how you want to do things, because you got the type of energy, you'll change things up whenever you get good and ready, to the point where you go ahead, if anybody pisses you off, you know how to get up out of there real fast. I'm out the door. Don't piss me off, because you got an aggressive side that you should never exercise, because somebody might just get choked.
Wait. Hold on, brother. Listen, he's doing a lot of laughing in the background. Is anything
No, I just wanted to give, praises to, Honorable Malachi Z. York, just because I feel like my personality was so gravitated towards the ancestral community, because I know back in the 70s, especially in New York, they didn't play no games with people. So even though he was giving out the right knowledge, he wanted people to take things serious. And I feel like that is kind of like similar to my personality. So I just wanted to give that shout out.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. But you have an above average intelligence, man. People like you should always write books, do lectures, public speaking, things like that, because you'll interrupt people and say what you need to say, man, because it's kind of like you got to get it out, because if you don't get it out, you might not remember it and stuff like that. So the information is flowing through you like it's like nobody's business, man. Like, people like you, no one should ever get into a debate with, because you ain't got no problem finding the words to eliminate people or assassinate them verbally in a dispute whatsoever. Yeah. Aggressive, and this is just the energy that you're absolutely working with, though. But the thing is that you'll do for others out of your own sacrifice. But the challenge that you're having is that you have to know the law of exchange. Everything ain't for free. Everything has to be a law of exchange in how you deal with people, because you do come up with creative ideas to solutions to other people's problems except your own. So people like yourself, you really got to be careful with how you deal with the generalized public, because if they see you giving it out for free, they're going to keep coming with their hands out. And it's almost like you wind up falling in a submission position, because you're not allowing yourself to receive help. Because people like you don't like to receive help the way that you should, because you don't want nobody to hold nothing over your head. I'm just, what else you want me to do, man? Like, what you want to know?
No, I mean, how does you guys as content creators kind of deal with that push and pull of, people wanting some of the knowledge that you guys dropping for free? Like, I watched the gematria one that you guys did a couple of days ago, and that was just mind blowing, especially with people that look into this kind of research. So how do you balance out, hey, this is going to be premium content, or this is going to be something that I'm going to put in a lecture versus something, that I just give out for free as far as resources and right knowledge?
Well, this is why we're putting out the information, because what happens is that what messes us up is that we work alone. The moment we start working alone is the moment we start struggling to make this into something to be able to monetize. So when we get the opportunity to come together collectively, like what I know, what MOI knows, what Crumb knows, and stuff like that, then we can be able to help each other to monetize the information enough to turn it into an institution or a school of thought, so that we can get people enrolled into this knowledge, so that we can go ahead and take back our rightful place on this plane of existence. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, but with you, man, you a thinker, a researcher. Good things come to you when you by yourself. And you're like a perfectionist, or what you consider to be perfection. But be careful with perfection, because perfection is the trap for you, because you stood all day in your mind trying to get it perfect, but that's not the process you need to go by, because that causes you to be a procrastinator of actually getting the action done. And then you find out that you missed on a great opportunity.
Wow.
Trust the process.
Okay.
Trust the process, get through the process, and get perfect as you go along. Because the more you sit back and think about it, you start to overthink the process, and then it will escape you, because you're trying to find ways to make it easy for yourself to get it done. The classic way of doing it is with a team. Your challenge is that you work too much alone in the
I feel
process.
like Batman sometimes. I'm in a cave with it. I feel like Batman. I'm in a cave with it.
Yeah, but that comes out in your emotional side. You see, like, you get emotional about it. And a lot of times emotion is undisciplined structure, right? When we get into our emotions, that's energy that goes all over the place, and it's not structured. And if it's not structured, then you wind up staying there, and then the situation becomes more chaotic. Time goes on, before you know it, you still living in your head, and the only thing that's working is the thoughts in your head, but they never become the reality you want to see.
That was crazy.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna, keep that in mind. And I really appreciate you guys for, giving me this knowledge on my name, especially since, I just come from an area where, we didn't have this kind of information, like YouTube and, StreamYard. Everybody giving us this opportunity is amazing. And I'm gonna just keep reading and, study it. And, if I could just give one book recommendation for the audience that's out there, especially when it comes to this kind of knowledge. I have this book right here that I've been, digging into, Deity Linkage. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, S.I. Lee Myers. So this book goes into doing numerology, as far as, looking into your name and using Chaldean, essentially, numerology to, add up the different numbers of your name, find out which deities from different types of realms all over the world, as far as like Norse mythology, current, North American mythology, and seeing which things connect with you. And, I realized that I have like a lot of Jupiter, like you guys said, that aggressive energy that I got to use, productively, as opposed to, keeping things in my mind. So I just wanted to give this to the audience for, anybody that wants to study.
Real quick though, the challenge too is that you lead with Gemini, and that's the argument that you'll be having with yourself, where you think people are trying to work against you, but it's really that alter ego that you have the most challenge with, which causes a lot of mental chatter.
Absolutely.
So it's your Gemini that you got to get balanced. That's where the emotions is at. Balance the emotions so that the Gemini don't fight against each other, which is what you have going on in the mindset of your thoughts.
No, thank you. I'm gonna definitely take that as mine. And thank you, MOI, for all of the information.
Brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. If you got anything out of this today, man, definitely hit the joint down below. Drop a donation, and I'm going to email you more information to get with get with the high priest offline, and maybe schedule a couple of private sessions. But the information, like I said, do help. It brings understanding, and in some cases, it also validates you know, the path you already on. Okay, yeah, all right, I'm good. You take your fast, square yourself up, and go on about your work. You know what I'm saying? So, thanks for joining, brother. Thanks for supporting Crumb TV and misinformation, man. Look forward to seeing you soon, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Keep doing great work, guys. Take care.
Absolutely.
Peace, love. Hey, man, listen. I'm trying to listen. They're going crazy in the chat right now.
Yeah, who that?
Going crazy. Listen, I'm in my email box right now. I done hit. Shouts out to Cosmic Kitty. Just shot me an email, and I'm shooting Cosmic Kitty the information right now as we speak. Emailing them right now back. Again, to get your private session, with the good brother High Priest right here, shoot me an email. The MOI podcast gmail.com. I send you over the private link, and I'm gonna be honest. He's just playing around right now. He's just playing around.
Tell him how much time I had to spend with you.
It was almost like 4 hours, and I feel like it still wasn't even. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like, all right, we can say like 4 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's important to do sessions and to continue, you know what I'm saying, to unpack that. We're talking about healing. We're talking about childhood trauma. We're talking about closing those spiritual loops. What is it called? Sexually transmitted spirits.
Sexual soul ties.
Sexual soul ties. What do you call it when couple people just be together? Trauma bonding.
Yeah, trauma bonding.
Bonding.
We talked about that.
You know what I'm saying? All that.
Yeah.
All that. And we're supposed to have one more brother tapping in here in a second. But I'm about to pull somebody out the chat. Let's see. Can you see the chat too on your end?
I see it. Yeah, I see it.
If you see anybody over, let me see. Let me scroll down.
I see it, Jamil.
All right, Jamil. Now, upon request, here's what I request: that you take Jamil's name and go to the whiteboard.
Go to the whiteboard with Jamil's name?
Go to the whiteboard with Jamil's name. I know you can look at it right now off
I
the rip.
just look at it and be like, you know, that
yeah.
Jamil is a master. He's got real strong master spiritual energy.
Wow.
And it comes in the form of where he can't even be around a lot of people because it'll make him uncomfortable. Because he just pulls in everybody's energy around him. People like him got to always clean themselves off spiritually because they just pick up everything around them. They can't even tell other people because it'll go right over their head or they'll think he's crazy. They be like, bro, you get up out of here. What you talking about? You don't see the future like that.
Wow.
This guy on a whole nother level. Telling him what to do is a gross waste of time. I hope he's been working on that temper. He's been, I don't know if he's worked on it or he's been working on it or things of that nature. But people like him, to talk to him, you have to talk to him in picture form. Because if he doesn't get to see the vision of it, he don't trust it. I mean, I could go all day. This guy has got. He plays a good. Yeah.
Jamil, come on, bro. Listen.
And he can't work for nobody. He can't work for nobody. He got to go create work for himself.
Jamil, hop back, man.
This man can't keep no job. Get out of here.
Talk back, Jamil.
And I say that in a respectful way.
Right, of course.
In a respectful way, because people like him, he'll go to work and reinvent the wheel.
Wow. Oh, we gotta do my boy real quick.
Who that?
Can you late the class, man? What's going on, bro?
First of all, let me tell you about this guy. This guy is good at taking chaotic situations and creating order out of it. He's a troubleshooter.
Wow.
He don't know what no is. He gonna figure it out and get it done. He's a master troubleshooter. Who that? Dang, high priest is the calculator.
That's why I'm trying to tell y'all to hit the email. I'm trying to send y'all his link. I'm trying to send y'all the link. Let's look at that. He's sitting here doing this stuff for free, out of love right now. Bro, let's keep it 100. Hold on for a second. Let's keep it 100. Bro could be, you know what I'm saying, doing something with some client. He took time to do this for y'all on the script for myself, on behalf of Crumb TV, to hop on here and let y'all know what's really out there, what's really happening.
Now, we're going to do this all the time.
Now, I'm asking y'all to simply shoot me an email and I'll send you this link. Okay? You have choices. This is about being transparent. Anybody got anything to hide or hustle? This is the real deal, Holyfield.
Yeah, so
this is the one I dealt with right here. That's the one that had me right here. This one was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, when y'all look at this, y'all got to understand that you're getting a 3-hour session based on a whole breakdown of who you are. And it's very powerful only because I say that it will begin to allow you to understand how to live your life with the intentions. This is about living with intentions. A lot of us don't even know the contract. All truth. Power to the true king. So the thing is that what you don't know is the reason why you haven't been living by your name is because you have adopted a DNA from your parents that has thrown your whole contract off, your whole spiritual contract off.
Yep.
Our parents man, when I found out what I found out about myself, I would have never made the decisions I made in the past. But because our parents passes out that DNA onto us, it throws off our whole spiritual contract. So these are the things you got to take into consideration, because a lot of us are off the path we're supposed to be on. I show you how to get back on it. Not do I just show you how to get back on it, but I also take you to a past life progression to fix the trauma that your parents gave you, as well as the karmic debt that you caused yourself in the past life. So definitely look into the link, because this is not just telling you your name and telling you to go about your business. This is about actually going there and fixing some things energetically, because that's my job. My job is to just fix you energetically so that you can really get in tune with who you are. Because what do they say? The truth is within. So
we got nothing up there, bro. We got Miss Bridget Pointer.
Bridget, Lord have mercy. That's what Brenda. Let me explain something to you. Brenda is very charming, but she has a shy side to her as well. She needs the attention, but she don't want it like that. She wants the attention that she knows she deserves, not the attention she doesn't want. If that makes sense. But this is a woman that is almost reminds me of the brother from before. But you got to be careful with doing for people that don't deserve to be done for. Stop giving away your energy to people that don't respect you, or what's the word? That don't respect you, but don't honor what you give them. You gotta let people earn it. And if they're not earning it, they won't respect it. And then it will feel like you start to hate people and begin to allow yourself not to want to deal with anybody because you're just overwhelmed by the whole situation of helping others. You muted. You muted.
I mean, my bad. Listen, Brenda said yes.
Yes.
So true.
So true.
Listen.
Yeah. Lock in.
Email me right now.
But she needs to book a session with me because she's the type that they take advantage of the most because she has the light. Her light is so strong that you got these people that come out of darkness stealing her light. And she's got to be able to, she has to able to clean that off and be, go out here and do this light work that she's designed to do. But we can't get our light workers to do the light work that they're supposed to do because they keep getting caught up with the vampires. The vampires keep sucking the light workers and we can't get the healing we deserve because she don't know. If she knew, I mean, I wish she would know. But if she don't know that she's a light worker and how to operate in her energy, she would know that you can't help everybody. You can only help those that are willing to help themselves, that are also willing to help you. It's a science to this. It's all math.
Brenda,
and it's
in other words, Brenda, email me right now.
She like, yes. Oh my God. Man, but like, Bro, she got so much power, so much resources. She know everything, everybody. She know who to connect with, who to not.
I'm waiting on you, Brenda.
It's crazy.
I'm waiting on you, Brenda.
Man, she need to get in a session with me because she need to be cleaned off so bad.
Now when you say cleaned off, what's on her? Is it like just like static energy?
She needs to go back to her mother's womb because the first time she's experienced trauma is in her mother's womb.
Wow.
And it's been compounded. I don't even know her age or nothing. I just know off of that.
Wow.
That's how serious it is. So she definitely is, because she has a lot of work to do for the culture, for just everything going on with us.
Listen, man.
She's considered an oracle. She's considered this one right here, she's considered an oracle because she has. So let me tell you about women, right? And how this works. All women in our culture has to be, their womb is responsible for manifestations.
Okay.
So if the womb is compromised with the wrong information, then they start to give birth to what we see today. This is why it's important that the womb gets cleaned off and cleaned out. Through the vessel has to be clean so that we could bring through the real gods or the real ones that are supposed to come in and clean up this mess. But if their womb has been compromised, then the information gets lost in translation. So now our women start giving birth to nonsense because women can only attract based on what's going on in their womb. So if the womb has chaos, they attract chaos relationships, and then they start making chaotic babies. This is why this is so important, because them wombs got to get cleaned up so that more righteous energy can come into their existence, so that we can make a more righteous civilization.
Well, that makes so much sense, man. Let me tell you something. That makes so much sense. There's a quote I remember seeing that says, "A nation will not rise higher than its women. No nation will rise whatever level the women of the nation is on, that's the whole society.
Right.
A woman is the nation. The nation is birthed from the womb of a woman. Nation, root word being NATO or birth or kin, comes from within. And mothers are the teachers. They're the teachers.
Exactly.
Wow. So let me see. We gotta take somebody to that board, bro. We're about an hour in, by the way. We're dealing with, man. The high priest Antwon over here going Hamilton. Just look, he ain't even went to the board yet.
Y'all can see that?
Now, yeah, we can see that perfect. Now we're gonna get him on the board, on the whiteboard. Brother, listen, I'm controlling the Google. He don't even need the Google. Me Google is slowing him down on what the downloads he receiving. You know what I'm saying? So now we're trying to get the good brother on the board real quick. Book your session by emailing me, man. The MOI podcast gmail.com. I seen the link. I got maybe 7 people hit me up so far. We got
Anthony George Smith.
We got 80 people watching. Like, my email should be going crazy right now. Like,
let me see. Anthony,
what y'all gotta see?
George Smith. Right? So let me tell you about this, right? I'm gonna tell what Anthony George Smith is his heart's desire. Like, we all have a heart's desire, and it's based off of how much of one particular energy you have in your name. So, with that being said, when I look at his name and I'm trying to just decipher what he has, you got 1A, two ones, right? Two twos, three threes. You don't even have no threes. Let's talk about what you don't have. We'll talk about that in a minute. Threes, fours. You got 1, 4. You got 5s. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4, 5. All right. So this is your heart's desire. You desire to be free as hell. You don't want nobody telling you nothing, what to do, how to do it. You want to call all the shots and have everybody else just follow lead and do what you need them to do to get it done. Your heart's desire is really just like you just want to be free to do and create as you please, and pretty much just put everything in perspective for the purpose of you being able to just be able to like just see the world as you can see it and take it over to a whole nother level. So your creative self is screaming through your heart chakra that you just want to create, explore, be around things that causes more innovation, ideas, methods, concepts, everything you could think of on a level of being an inventor, to go ahead and let it run itself, and you just be able to just say, hey, I did that, I invented that, and that's just how it is. So the key to it all is that knowing that you have that, you stand on that particular type of energy. So it's like, it's really hard for you to just concept, but it tells me a lot about how you understand money and what you think about it. People like you know how to manage money really well, in the purpose of being able to make sure that you have enough to put something in investments and things of that nature, as well as being able to really be careful how people talk to you, because the wrong tone of voice will have you turn up, because you got a sensitive side that you keep hidden so that nobody else knows about it, but you keep your demeanor so strong and presence that you kind of like give people the impression that they shouldn't say much to you, or not say much to you, but don't play with you type of energy. Like, don't play with me, because it could be a problem, because you're a leader. You dominate things. You dominate situations. Sometimes people will say, yo, he's a bully. But in all actuality, it's just you being dominant in the energy that you actually carry for the purpose of showing your greatness, because most people want to follow you because of all the greatness that you display in this platform right now. You probably work out. I'll be honest with you. You're probably hitting the gym more often than you need because you got that perfectionist energy as well, where you know things have to come together for a particular reason, and people like you, you know, you go into deep thought because you have that philosophical concept. Facts, people feel intimidated for no reason. It's not, hey, it is what it is, right? So it's not that you it's it's not that you're trying to, it's just you exude dominance, aggressive dominance. Like that's what masculinity is, you know. But in actuality, you're really a harmless, sweet guy, you know, in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So just don't hit the gym too hard. That's all.
So listen, that's what I want to know. Ant, are you a gym rat? People want to know, Ant.
Yeah, is he in the gym? He doing some type of calisthenics. I already know. But see, this is the thing though. His communications, the reason they perceive him to be intimidating is because communications is a challenge for him. It's almost like he's not getting his words out. He's not getting his words out. He's not being able to express himself. So the only way that he can express himself is through his demeanor. And that's how he communicates. You know what I'm saying? Through that demeanor and stuff like that. But
wow.
You tell me, Ant, is that it is? He said, I'm in my head, been too busy.
So listen. This brother taking the names, breaking it down. Listen, I told y'all there's gonna be no geometrium calculator pulled out. Okay, no, nothing pulled out. Like the matrix is in his head. The brother got the matrix in his head.
Jeremiah,
what's up, brother? Jeremiah said 738.
What
now?
I mean, what is that? What characteristics is that? Because when I do gematria, I'm looking for the similar energy from past to present. So when me and M.O.I do the regular classes, and I throw out what is equivalent to, it tells us a story. Just like with the Kamala thing. And what's that? What was his name?
Serapis Christo.
Yeah. Right. So it tells us a story. Gematria is about telling a story about present and future situations. Numerology just gets into the context of who you are. But you know, Jeremiah, you know, you already know how you operate, man. You don't like to do nothing unless you thought of it first.
This is characteristic.
He like, nah, I gotta think about it. I'll come back, and then he'll be like, yeah, I did. I was thinking about it, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way. You know, they're the people that gotta think about it. You can't get them. You can't get them people to commit unless they think about it first.
Oh, but look with Anthony though. This says a lot though. It says a lot.
I'm Jamaican by birth. Yes. Wagwan, brethren. Pasta, ackee, and sawfish.
But
no doubt.
What he did right here?
But once you get to know me, I just care too much about others. I will give them my all, so I have to be careful. Yeah, absolutely, man. But you good though. They ain't gonna play with you though. They ain't gonna play with you.
Yeah.
They know better.
You already know, right?
They ain't gonna play with you.
Hold on. I seen somebody else in here too. So when you read the numbers, when somebody say, let me find somebody real quick who gave me their numbers. What a sister that she gave me her numbers. When you do the numbers, them giving you the numbers is not the same as you breaking down their name by the numbers, or is it the same thing? It
Well,
making sense?
when they add up their name and they come with that's the total of the name.
That's the
But,
total.
yeah, that's just the total of the name. But I go for roll, letter for letter.
So a 227, is it the first last middle last name or just the first name? Like, I'm trying to understand.
She's trying to say her full name adds up to a 227. She probably, if you added up the full name, first, middle, last, I'm assuming that's what she's saying, the full name.
Right.
That's a masculine energy right there. She's very sensitive to spirituality. See another one that need to get book a session, because that's that oracle energy again.
Wow.
These master numbers, 4 plus 7, that comes to an 11. Those are master numbers. So people with the master numbers are very charming, but they gotta be extrally protected, because you got vampires that want to suck your light. They want your light, and you gotta know where they at. She said first, last, and middle. Yeah. It comes to a master number. Jeremiah Roseboro, Jeremiah information 738. Yeah. Well, go on the gematria code calculator and look up what 738 is connected to. See what name sticks out to you.
Hold on.
I'm not even on the calculator.
Nah, I got you right here. I
flexing
got you in real time, brother. I got you in real time. Don't even worry about it. And just put the number in.
Yeah, 738. That's his name?
Yep.
Yeah, but what is it? Yeah, that's yes. It says devil. Uh-oh. Better watch out. Kobe Bean Bryant. The gematria conclusion. Harmful intentions. Blood of my blood. Double trouble. Yeah, well, when you pull up those numbers like that, it's just telling you the intentions, right? Doesn't mean you're gonna act on it. It's just gematria just tells you the intentions of the energy and what comes with it. So you always want to pay attention to stuff like that, because it'll show you what you have the capabilities to do and what negative or positive. One thing that we learn about in any number system, everything has a righteous and an unrighteous side to everything. You're welcome. So the righteous side and the unrighteous side, we all have a negative and a positive. You can't have one without the other. Negative is right behind positive, and positive is right behind negative. It's just your choice to decide what side you want to activate when necessary, right? One of the things I used to always say is like, when do I need to go to the dark side? Only time I need to go to the dark side when I feel like somebody's trying to infiltrate or do harm to myself or my family, right? That's when I got to go to the dark side. Well, you got to just know how to utilize your dark side when necessary. Don't do it for the purpose of trying to cause unnecessary things at an unnecessary time. So let me tap in real quick, give y'all a quick understanding. So y'all have heard me talk about the karmatic debt earlier. The karmatic debt in your name is the way you find that out is trying to find out what numbers you don't have in your name 1 through 9. So if you don't have a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, that's automatically letting me know that you are missing something, and that it is something that you have to pay for in this lifetime. Because in your past life, you caused some type of issue. And because you caused that issue, you abused that power of that particular number in your past life. Now you're here to pay for it. And usually what happens is dealing with the law of duality, right? The law of duality is talking about experiencing both sides of the coin. You have to experience both sides of the coin. Sometimes you just might want to come back and feel what it's like to be the villain. Sometimes you might just want to come back and want to know what it feels like to be the victim. So the way that we are created in this grand scheme of this dynamic universe that we live in, we have to go through experiences. Everything is about the experience. And a lot of us are just experiencing, but we're really being conditioned to believe that it's something more dramatic than what it is. When in all actuality, it's about the experience. And that's all that it is. Nothing makes sense. Only the experience does. And as a spiritual being in this physical vessel, my physical vessel is only here for the purposes so that I can be able to taste chocolate, right? The spirit can't taste chocolate. The spirit can only experience chocolate through the physical being, right? So understanding that, you would understand that whatever's missing from your name will determine what you're supposed to be experiencing this time, because you've already had a chance to see what it was like on that particular side. Now you get to enjoy the other side. So it's just all an experience. But the problem is sometimes is that when coming back, let's say your name is John Doe Smith or something, right? This is your contract. Don't look at the name, because we already said earlier that in 2 Corinthians 3:6, in order to be a qualified minister of the code, you can't go by the letter, because the letter killeth, but the spirit gives it life. So what is the spirit in the name? Well, the spirit in the name is 1, 6, 5, 4, 6, 5, 1, 4, 9, 2, 8. These numbers are the spirits. Just like my body is the letter, but what is inside is the spirit that's giving this body life. Because we know once the spirit leaves the body no longer lives. So this is what's giving your name life, is these spirits, which is the numbers. But what happens to us, we have these things called a mom and a dad, right? We got to come through them in order to exist. These are our vessels of entry, but because we have to come through a mother and a father to make entry here on this plane of existence, we also got to come through their trauma. We still got to come through their lineage. We still got to come through their DNA. So when you don't get the opportunity to truly live out your name or the spiritual contract that you signed up for, and you start experiencing all this turmoil and trauma and you know, derailing of the path based off of the energy in your name, you wind up getting caught with your parents' DNA. And in your parents' DNA, they got unresolved trauma, unresolved, because you came into consciousness and you know what is supposed to go on, how to think righteously. You don't realize that your life has been turned upside down is because you got to relive your mother and father's trauma, which is bonded to your DNA, which shapes you into the individual that you are. So it throws off the contract because now you got to be fumbling around with what they got, what they had going on, because obviously they had gone through something before you were born. And whatever your mother felt and whatever your father felt before you was born, you too had inherited. And you say to yourself, why can't I just inherit $1 billion? But now you're going to inherit this schizophrenia, this relationship issues, these financial issues, and stuff like that. And you're trying to figure out, how do I break free from this? Well, look at this triangle right here, this upside down triangle. When you look at it, let's just say that this upside down triangle is your subconscious, right? And one thing we know about the subconscious is that it is our recorder. It records trauma, and it records anything that we do repetitiously. And that is what keeps the law of attraction coming back to us. But now, the first time you've ever experienced trauma was in your mother's womb. That's the first trauma trigger that you first experienced. So whatever your mother was feeling while she was carrying you, if she felt abandonment issues, if she felt like she was, not safe, she didn't feel like she was protected, or she was just always craving certain types of food, or she was abused and things in that nature while she was pregnant, you too get to pick that up. That's a bonus for you coming back to this plane of existence. Now, this is another opportunity to throw you off your own spiritual contract. Now you can't even get focused or developed on who you need to be, because now you're dealing with something straight at the womb, the birth, that's shaping you in that water of that amniotic sac waters that you are being nurtured in. Crazy, because obviously we know water carries memory, and the memory of your mother or the experience transfers to that water. So you are soaked in the water of that trauma in the womb. So as you come out into the world, as you get older, over time, these trauma triggers begin to compound itself over time. And now your subconscious mind has now normalized this behavior from the environment you live in, for the type of food you eat, for the type of work you do, for whatever it may be, or how you deal with yourself and your children and your relationship as well. Now you don't really even get to live your life on purpose like you're supposed to, because now you got all these trauma triggers sitting in your subconscious mind doing the ultimate disrespect to your existence. It is now only attracting more trauma to you. And you're trying to figure out, why am I going through this nonsense? Why am I going through this trauma all the time? Like, what's up? It's like a roller coaster. This keeps happening over and over and over again. So my job to you, to help you to get rid of this, is that I take you back to your mother's womb through a past life progression based off of what I understand about you and whatever karmic debts you may have in your name, as well as understanding that you've experienced trauma in the womb. So I take you back to your mother's womb and give you what we call a spiritual rebirth. And you're able to see, feel, touch, taste, and smell everything that's going on, even hearing your parents speak while you also back in the womb. And what that does is that acknowledging what is taking place and what is able to be removed, you can remove that trauma by going back into the actions of the first time it actually happened and be able to remove it easily. So let's just say, for an example, your mother and father got into an argument while your mother was carrying you in the womb. All you have to do now is make your parents not have that argument, or be able to prevent it from even happening in the first place, which have caused you to develop that first trauma trigger in the womb. You can do this because this is how powerful we all are. We can do this easily. So now let's think. All the trauma that we've been experiencing as a people, based on how MOI tells us about the history and the destruction of our culture and what happened and all these things, we can literally go back to those times and change the trajectory of everything that ever happened there, so that now we can be able to experience a better future. This is how we time travel, through our minds, through our conscious records, through our spiritual intellect. Because we have not been tapped in for so long. And we don't understand that we can experience this. So we can easily change those stories. And it can always just start with you in the womb that you came from, and then move on to your father's womb, then to your grandparents' wombs, and you can literally go back 20 generations if you want to. This is how powerful we are to be able to correct the future for how we want to see it happen for us. Because the future is happening, but we have to rectify what happened in the past. So if you ever think about movies, time traveling movies, how they went back and stopped the man from interacting with the woman, and it changed the whole trajectory of the future. Then they come back to the future and find out that everything is fine and it's different now. Or what we call the butterfly effect. If anybody ever saw that movie, The Butterfly Effect, watch it, you'll get an idea. But we can affect the past to create a better future. Any comments, questions, or challenges? Because once we take this off, once we go back and take all that off, we erase all these trauma triggers in your subconscious. Now, guess what happens to you? You have to create a whole new law of attraction. And now it's going to be based off of you living your life on purpose. Any questions, comments, or challenges? Talk to me. What we got in the chat?
Off mute. They in the chat like, what the fuck?
He said, I love that movie. Oh, she said, she loved that movie, The Butterfly Effect.
Oh, the brother didn't hear nothing. He said internet went down just before the joint had started. Oh, he said the brother was writing exam. Okay, there we go. This is the brother from earlier. What's the good brother name? Because I had saved it.
That was Jamil.
Yeah, Jamil. Yeah, Jamil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good brother Jamil.
Yeah, but this is what we dealing with, man. We so powerful. It's crazy. I could just tell you, man. I could just tell you countless stories. Just real quick. So before I met my wife, man, I was in the trenches. I was out here in these streets
On the
being
dark side, well,
reckless.
I call it the dark side.
I was on the dark side out here in these streets, right? Now, you know, M.O.I knows my wife, and she's a shaman priestess, and she's done over countless numbers of soul resets, sexual soul ties. She removes spirit babies from women's wombs. She's done, she does so many. She does chakra clearings. She's the truth. She even deals with the plant medicine. If you know anything about plant medicine, Hape, and special types of other stuff as well, I won't mention. But she basically put it all in perspective. Name is one aspect of the numerology. What about birthday calculator will provide life path numbers and how to make your life path come together?
How does the geometry and life path number come together to provide the insight for the person?
Well, we'll get back to that. Peace and power to the priestess Onika. Yeah, that's one of the sisters. She knows. That's one of the, she been in the healing process. But let me finish this story real quick. So she, the wife had to clean me off because I was a dirty piece of what, right? And because she cleaned me off, and it took some time because I was kicking and fighting and screaming all the way to the bathtub, right? So just going through that process. But one of the things that I had to understand, and I know a lot of us as men, we have to do more of healing. It's important for men to do a lot of healing because we need it the most, as we're the most attacked and traumatized of the species out here. But yeah, she cleaned me off, man, and then I had got it all together, and she put me on my path. So I don't want y'all to get it twisted because I couldn't do this by myself without my goddess, and she made it all happen in so many different ways. Not only did she make it happen in so many different ways, she cleaned me off so good that I got so clean myself, it started to pass down to my children and my family, to the point that my mother and father has been separated since I was 13 years old for about close to 25 years. And when you think about that, you like saying to yourself, ain't no way your parents will ever think about getting back together after being separated for 25 years. But because I did the work on myself and cleaned up my bloodline and cleaned myself up, one day my mother and father decided to visit for my daughter's birthday, and I had the opportunity to put them through a ceremony to clean them off spiritually. And through that process of cleaning them both off at the same time, my father just had this inclination of, you know what, I think I want to marry your mother. I'm like, what? It's been 25 years. You live in Dominican Republic. What you talking about right now? Right? Before you know it, man, come the following year, they both got married. I say all that in a short note is that when you clean yourself off, you wind up cleaning off your whole bloodline. So guess what? Because I used to go back into my past life, I'm fixing everything. I'm fixing everything through the generations. I'm fighting wars. I'm going back. I'm correcting things. And it started to show up in my present to the point where my parents, has been separated for 25 years, decided to get married after being separated. What spiritual power is that? Well, I say all that because you can do it too. I digress.
Listen, beautiful demonstration, man. You still got time. Shoot me an email. Listen, man, I want to thank you for your time, brother. This has been amazing.
Who else we got?
As much as we can do this, I want to bring it back. And I want to bring wifey on too, man. to get her on
Oh
here
yeah.
to really so pass the word to her and y'all work out the date and time. Let me get the flyer together and we
Yeah.
get the sisters on here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see the thing with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
She afraid. She like if you put her on, they gonna come out the woodwork trying to get this work done. She's
what is he in the background laughing? Tell her, listen.
Hey, you hear her laughing in the background, right? She like, yo, listen. If I go back, she took a break. Actually, she took a break.
Check this out though. I killed the whole thing.
Hey,
we're not gonna talk about none of that. We ain't gonna talk about none of that at all. We just want to get on here and let you just, speak to the fact of health and wellness, how important it is to eat right. Let's talk through some wound healing. Just have a conversation. We ain't got to pull out nothing. We ain't got to do nothing. Just have a conversation. But I think it's important in this time right now we in for you to just holler at the sisters and encourage them to get the word. The same way Obama just got on the brothers. Come get on these sisters.
He said this brother rocking like cocaine. Peace to the gods. Honest.
Listen.
Hey, they go to Queen.
I'm calling you out. We need you on the platform sometime next week. Let me know when you're available. It don't matter. Morning, midday, afternoon, at night, whatever time you want to hop on here, let me know. Let me get the flyer together. Let me bring honor by promoting you the right way, same way I did the brother right here.
She said I'm ready.
Okay. Well, listen. Y'all see it, we see it. And we got witnesses in here too.
We need y'all. The folks is calling y'all for it. Let's go.
Man.
Let's go, Nat, you boo.
This is the sacred time for this information.
Let's go.
Listen, man. Let's do it. Listen, brother. I gotta get the cut up out of here, man. I gotta go.
Yes, it was an honor and a pleasure, man. Always. Let's do it again. We gotta keep doing these again. We gotta get. Hey, we gonna do this again. We gotta do this again. This is powerful.
At your will.
Yes, sir.
At your will, you definitely let me know, man. But I want to thank you for hopping on here, brother. Always exciting for me. If you guys are around tomorrow, I'd love to have you back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing what I call Movie Monday. Okay, I'm going to commit to 4 movies, and we're going to just break the movies down. Okay, nothing crazy deep, but deep enough. Movie Mondays, and I'm currently looking for a female co-host for Movie Mondays. I'm looking for a female co-host for Movie Mondays to hop on here. We're gonna break these movies down. Okay. Tomorrow, tomorrow we're gonna go over 12 Years a Slave.
That's
from the beginning of the movie. We're gonna talk about historical aspect of what's happening in history to the end of the movie. Okay. We're gonna break down 12 Years a Slave, and then I'm gonna put up a poll. I'm gonna put a poll up in my YouTube chat. I'm gonna add a poll to my YouTube chat for you guys to let me know what movie should we watch the following Monday. Oh, what movie you guys want to go over the following Monday. I add a poll to the chat tonight. You got for next Monday. Tomorrow Monday we're doing 12 Years a Slave. That was my first pick. And then there's a movie, you know what I'm saying, you want to deal with, brother. Definitely let me know. I would love for you to have you seen it's by it's a Marvel movie, Doctor Strange.
Oh, of course.
The first one.
Oh yeah.
So when I hear you break down the geometry of Doctor Strange, the first one comes to mind like, damn. Because it was a lot that he wasn't up on game about, and then they had to put him on game. So Movie Mondays, tap in, we break down a movie. Let's make it happen. Man. So once again, man, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Definitely hit the email.
Hit the email.
Hit the
Let's
email.
go.
I'll see you over the link. I appreciate you, brother. And we'll tap in tomorrow, Monday. Any last words we get out of here, bro?
Hey man, you know, y'all tap in with the information and knowledge. I definitely want to be able to help some people really discover who they are on such a deep level. Tap the link. I'm your high priest, Antwon, and I'm just here to help y'all get to the next level. Peace and blessings.
Oh, hold on. Let's listen. Where's that question at? Because there's a question that the chat is really like, he's gonna answer the question. I'm leaving it up to you to tap back in and deal with it the next time or what? Because I feel like they like, is he gonna answer the question or not before you go? He gonna answer the question like,
oh, we forgot. Damn. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, is that gematria is the insight to connect you to the energy of a certain entity, right? Like we did with the Kamala and the Serapis. Serapis is equivalent to Kamala D. Harris, right? So when you put your name in the gematria, that's just tying you to a person in time. Who were you at a particular time? Or what energies possess that particular energy? That's what the gematria does. The numerology just gets into the details of the name, going from letter to letter to letter. And it's an infinite of combinations. So when you talk about life path, I do it all. I do the life path. I do the reason for being. I do the heart's desire. We do the karmatic debts. I go over the 9 different aspects to who you are. Like, these things is just corrupt in so many ways. And then the karmatic debt that you have also has the solution in it. So if you got a karmatic debt, I could tell you what the solution is in your name. So this is just so many things that is just.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
No,
talk.
I'm not telling you to hold on. The other brother, I sent the link, man. You know, I like to be a person of my word, man.
He said I went to the live.
Hold on.
But my name got changed when I was young.
Hey, Bruce Lee, check your email right now. Check your email right now. I sent you the link. Check the email right now.
Said I've been waiting on streaming, sitting, waiting.
Yeah,
what?
He might have got the wrong link, but I sent the correct link from the Gmail earlier. It's how the other brother got on. I emailed him at the same time.
Oh, that's right. He wanted to come in.
Yeah.
I mean, if he got it, I'll lock him in real fast. I don't know, man. It's up to you, man. It's up to you.
Nah, you could tap into the link now because I just emailed it to you. Tap
into the link. We ain't even hit 2 hours yet. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Gotta try to take care of our folks.
That's something.
You know, Bruce Lee been on it for a long time. We gotta show Bruce Lee love. You know what I'm saying? He's been at it. It seems there's no connection to life path and gematria. There's no connection.
I think they're still missing what you're saying the gematria is for. I think they're still missing that part of it. Because I think you explained it what it is as it's apart from anything else.
Well, gematria is the numeric value. It deals with the Kabbalah calculations. So to be quite honest, that gematria is a little bit more complex than numerology. So the gematria aspect to it is just it's an insight. It deals with the insight. So when I say insights, I'm talking about what other names are equivalent to your name. So for example, again, when we pull up Serapis, that was invented by Ptolemy. Serapis is equivalent to Kamala D. Harris. That's what we call an insight. You get to have an insight into what is this connected to, because names are just energy. We ever heard them say you can't destroy energy nor create it.
Yeah,
it can only be transferred. Well, that's what gematria is. It's a transfer of energy. Serapis is a transfer of energy to Kamala D. Harris, present day. I hope it makes sense. Peace to the Bruce Lee.
What's up, man? Can you hear us?
Peace.
Peace.
Now,
Yeah, I can hear you.
yeah, we got you. This brother
Can you
here
hear
is
me?
always on the platform supporting. So it's definitely an honor to get you on the joint live and put a name to the face. So peace and love, first of all, brother. Appreciate you, man. The high priest gonna do what he do.
Yeah, no doubt. What's the full name?
So you want my real name?
Say what?
Jeremy Jenkins.
Who?
Jeremy Jenkins.
Jeremy?
I'll write it in the chat.
Yeah, right in the strat.
I think my connection messed up.
That's spell it out. Jermey.
Jereny. It's crazy because everybody that was on here got similar names to like people in my family, like the girl Brenda and the guy named Jamel. My brother name is Jamal.
What? Jeremy.
Correct.
And what's the last name? Or is there a middle name?
Jenkins. My middle name is Loren, Loren.
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 Okay. Jenkins. So looking at your name, what
My
it tells me
connection messed up.
you gotta your heart's desire is to be free. You don't want nobody telling you what to do. All you care about is your freedom and nothing else. You stand on a platform of creativity, wanting to be able to explore things. You don't even want to go live in different countries. You can't even keep your women the same sometimes. That's just how you love your freedom so much. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that you have to be able to identify with the fact that you are a thinker, you're a researcher, good things come to you when you by yourself. So the overall concept of what's going on with you is that you have to put yourself in a position of understanding that you know how to make friends, people, all type of that, and loyalty is very important to you. You try to protect the people around you from other people that try to come into your circle. You don't really let people into your circle like that unless they can prove themselves through their demonstration or through their actions. So people like you is like you're very, very, very resourceful. I'm talking about people they might as well call you the gatekeeper because you ain't letting nobody in unless they have something to truly offer. Because you ain't it's like what they say in the Bible, in order to get to the Father, you got to go through me. That's That's the type of energy you dealing with, like on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So
that's yo, that's
so that,
yo, that's crazy. That's you can see. You said me you brought me up spot on.
yeah. Yeah, but the thing is that don't 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 try to find your way to make a commitment, because what happens is that there's you're always changing things up, which will affect your foundation. You see what I'm saying? By changing things up or moving on. All right. Yeah, by changing things up and not keeping the foundation, you start to lose things in the process. And people with your energy takes a lot of losses sometimes, because not only do you change things up, but it's also dealing with the fact of doing too much for other people that don't deserve your energy.
Yo, you spot on, brother.
Yeah.
First, I tend to stick to myself, and I don't fuck with nobody that don't fuck with me type like that.
Yeah. But you gotta find your level of commitment.
I think
Once
my
you find your
connection stuff, but I appreciate it.
No doubt, man.
The
Tap
thing
in.
that- yeah, connection issues. Bruce, we definitely appreciate you tapping in, bro. I think his screen froze up a little bit too. Tapping in. He said, bro, you was on code with that. You was on code with that. Get on code. We're already on code.
Yeah, that's all we want to do, man. We want to make sure we take care of our own, you know?
And look, next week, could we deal with the life path and the actual? Is there more information? Because it seemed like the crowd was they don't went off the geometry and they're dealing with NATO star chart, life path. Now you sat right here and took their name and told them about them without going through any of this, and they still want to understand something else.
Yeah.
What say you to that?
Yeah, well, let's break it down, man. We'll break it down in the next one. I'm glad everybody's interested and intrigued, man. Y'all stay tuned, stay in touch, and we just gonna make it happen. So we'll set up the next one. Me and M.O.I. will figure it out.
That's the main part, y'all. Just to get y'all to start thinking along the lines of some different information. Like we ain't bring you history, we ain't bring you P. Diddy, we ain't talking about none of that stuff. We're talking about some things that actually change your life, and stuff you can actually you can practice with stuff.
We can go through P. Diddy's name too on the next one.
Oh boy, oh yeah. The Diddler's next, but
the Diddler's next.
The Diddler's next. Thank you for tapping in, bro. Appreciate you.
Honest
Everything you just did, man. Beautiful demonstration. And for y'all for tapping in, man. We appreciate y'all. Have a happy Sunday, man.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and light.